Well, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. So, I've cleaned the area and I'm all set up and I'm ready to clean my sensor on my camera. And it's quite a moment, I have to say. It is for me anyway, because very early on I scratched one of my sensors from the incorrect way. So, as you can imagine, this is something that I have really looked at and made sure that I do correctly, because there's nothing worse than realising a scratch has appeared on the front of your sensor. So there's one thing that I do just before I lay the foundations, and there's a few steps that you need to take to make sure you don't cause any damage to the sensor whilst you're performing the clean. So obvious ones, you need to make sure you find a nice clean space, and then I've given it a good dust down and I've made sure there's nothing in this area that's going to be introduced into my camera. First thing I did was I give my hands a good clean, because you're obviously going to have lots of oil and different particles that might be dropping in. And so you've set the foundations. Now, the one thing that you must do before you set up yourself for a sensor clean is make sure that the sensor within the body is stable. Now, quite often what you'll have is an in-body stabilizer, and what that does is sometimes it affects the sensor in that manner, and you can tell when it's not set. So usually you would keep this upside down, but for the benefit of this, I'm going to put it up so I can hear that rocking in there. So that means the in-body stabilisation is on. So what I need to do is first find a battery. I don't know where I've put my batteries. Now we have a magical battery. Right. So right, continue. Right, so you've got your in-body stabilisation on, and simply on the Z7 II, you just go into the menu. I've got it as a short menu. I've turned it off. So with that done, camera's off. The shaking stopped. So we're good to go. Right, so you've set the foundations, you've got clean hands, you've got clean workspace, you've got plenty of light, and you've got yourself a nice shiny new sensor cleaning kit. Now, a lot of the photographers online, they have specific companies that charge a little bit more for these sensor kits. Understandably, everybody's got to make the money, but my opinion is anyone will do on the old Amazon or anywhere like that. They're all the same. You just need to make sure that they're not brand new companies. You know, check the reviews, make sure that they've been used quite a lot. Look through them, make sure that it's sort of real reviews, and then you're just good to go, really. Right, so you've done your due diligence, you've cleaned your area, and you're opening your cleaning kit. And first of all, this is the one that you're going to be using first. So this is a blowy tool. It's simply to get any rubbish out of there. And you have a sensor swab. Usually they have instructions on there as well, for the record, but sometimes it's just easier to see it. I don't like reading instructions, so I go onto YouTube. Anyway, so you'll have two different ones for these. You can get one for, well, you'll have three actually. You can get one for crop sensors, the even smaller sensors, micro 2/3, and then obviously this one is a full frame swab. So you don't really want to be opening this until you're entirely ready. So in this particular kit, you get a camera, lens and sensor cleaner. And usually I've found these to be separate. So you would get a sensor cleaning thing, and you would also get a camera lens cleaning solution as well. But it's obviously up to the standard of the sensor needs. And then you have this piece of equipment. This is just for cleaning lenses. This does not go anywhere near your sensor. I can't alliterate. I can't say that any more than it should. Than that. Keep it away from your sensor. Microfiber cleaning cloths. These are good, obviously, for not your sensor but your lenses. And you've got a dry cloth for afterwards. So I'm going to do the full clean, essentially. Right. So rules of engagement. It's pretty simple. You want to be clean area. So the first thing you want to do is take your lens off. Then I like to place it down. I don't like to place it up because what happens is any dust or any rubbish that's in the air is just going to drop down and into it. And it's the same for this. But for the benefits of this video, I will be kind enough to turn it upwards. So we'll head over to this station now, and then we'll go through exactly what I'm doing, and then you'll be able to see exactly how I'm cleaning. Right, so you can hopefully see what I can see. As you can see, my camera has had a wonderful time and she's well due a clean. So the first piece of equipment, you're going to need the blowy tool, and I'll just for demonstration show you what I'm doing. But you're blowing on the sensor. Now it's completely pointless doing it that way, so you want to look at what you're doing. Make sure you've got any dust off. Really important to make sure there's no dust or particles on this sensor, because you'll scratch it if there's even a little tiny bit left. So now it's time for sensor swab. Now we do not want to touch this bit. So, right, I've got it going. So, one squirt. That's all you need. So I like to have a wet side and hopefully a bit more of a drier side. And I'll do this upside down. So, ever so gently running across to the end. Same again. You don't want to do this too many times, but that will do it. Then afterwards I turn it back upside down and I give it another blow, and then she's done. Now usually I would then go straight to putting the lens back on, but she's good to go. So when you're out in the field, you definitely don't want to be doing any of this. You want to be using this. So the trick really is to keep everything upside down, and when you're out, make sure there's no rain or spray. When you're taking the camera lens off, you want to be keeping your camera like that. Both of them upside down until the last minute. And you've got a little dot usually on there where you can trigger them back together. And that's basically how you clean a sensor. So there you have it. That's how you clean your sensor. Don'ts. I think we need to cover don'ts. So don't be doing this in the field. It's not worth it. Keep it with you, because if you do have a problem with your lens, with your sensor, and you're having a really good shoot and you don't have the blowy tool and a cleaning kit, what you might be tempted to do is don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't be blowing in any sensor with your mouth, because moisture, saliva, acidity levels, they're just not, it's not designed for it. What else? Don't be using your jumper don't be doing any of that. So your video editing software will have your back in the case of blemish removal, and yeah, it's just not worth it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please do consider subscribing. Pop in as a little comment and let me know how you got on. And if you could pop us a like as well, just really helpful for the channel. We're a growing channel, and we're giving it a big push. So I'd be really grateful for any support that you could give. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.